Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to Wednesdays Down Under. So what I'm going to be doing today is I have made a big resin applique that I'm going to be painting, and it's sunflowers. So I wanted to show you, this is what it's going to look like, and I'm going to show you how you get there from the plain sort of applique. Now you can, the same sort of techniques that I'm doing here, you can do on your decorative furniture. You know, a lot of them have got really nice carvings on them, and you know, so you can do this, or whether you're using the would you bend moldings. This particular one is one that I made myself, so I made this huge big mold. It's actually really quite thick and heavy. I've used a few different colors here, or quite a few different colors, and some glazes and some metallics and all sorts of stuff. So I'm going to start painting and show you sort of how you get that sort of multi-layered color. Get yourself some of these just little craft brushes. Like if you're in Australia, we have them on our website, but otherwise you can get them from your little craft store or something, and they're really nice little sets. So we have them in little sets, I think with about 4 or something, but I have quite a few. This is actually made from resin, and you can heat them and bend them a little bit, but this is more for sort of like on a flat piece. It's really quite thick and quite heavy. It's a really chunky piece. Now, let's start. What I started with was kernel mustard. So if you have a look at sunflowers on the, you know, just on sort of YouTube or the internet or whatever, you can get all different varieties of sunflowers. So they don't all look the same. You know, you get some that are really grey in the center, some that are more orange, some that are more yellow. So, you know, just pick something you like and, you know, make it your own. Don't worry if you go over the edges, because you can come and tidy it up, and the leaf is going to be there. So I'm actually going to go over slightly onto where the leaf will be, because that's a darker color, being the green, and the green will just cover up. So I'm just going to let that dry for a bit, and then I'm going to come back and show you a bit of shading on this green here. But now with your gemstone mousse, we've had a lot of people worried when they get their gemstone mousse. Sometimes, where is the gold? Sometimes it will dry out. Sometimes it will dry out a little bit even while it's on the shelf. Now, I'm going to show you how you fix that. Okay, so if you get some gemstone mousse, whether it's new or whether you've just, you know, whether you've had it sitting on your shelf for a while at home, see how it's quite thick? Whereas some of the others, they don't tend to go like that as much. Now that's due to the different pigments that you'll get in them. Now any of those that you worry about with that, you just need to add some water. So guys, just add some water in, and then sort of really stir it, and then add a bit of more water in if you need to, and really sort of whip it back up. I just did this the other day and it was fine. And it's coming great. So, you know, it's really workable again. It's back to what it should be. And so if you do get your, especially your gold mousse, and you find that's a problem, that's all you have to do to fix it. So there's nothing wrong with it. Don't throw it out. Don't panic. It's all good. Okay. Now, I'm going to hit this with a hairdryer, dry it off quickly. So this leaf I've done, and I thought I'd show you what I did with these two. I've got a base here of evergreen. Now evergreen is one of those paints that, again, because it's such a bright pigment, I actually put 3 coats of evergreen over this, over a white base, so to get a really nice full coverage. And I've let that dry. Then we're going to go and put on some, was it sea glass? No, I don't think it was sea glass. What is it? I've got another green here somewhere. Here it is. So some kudzu. Now most of this stuff that I'm doing is really with a really light touch. So tiny bit on my brush, taking most of it off. So now you can see how much is coming off. There's hardly anything on there. And what I'm going to do with that is just lightly sort of dry brush it. And then I came back with limeade. So I used a little bit of limeade. And I took a really fine paintbrush, very fine one like this. So it's longer and finer. And again, I just put a tiny bit on the end, took some of it off, and I want to hit these high points on that. So sort of anywhere you can see here where it's been a little bit raised, where it looks like the sun might hit it, or you might get a bit more light on it. Going to do another coat of this really quickly, and then we're going to go on to the fun part of the yellow. Okay. So can you see the difference already just by, if you just painted it a flat colour, you're going to have a flat looking sort of surface. By adding all these other little bits into it, it gives it some definition and highlights and makes it look really pretty. So now I'm going to stick some daisy on, and again I used it on all these little high pieces. So what I did in the middle, you've got that sort of dark section that some of the sunflowers have. Some are really dark, like almost black, some are grey, some are quite yellow, depends on the species, but I went for a bit of a mixture. And I've got some stormy seas. So first of all, I did the centre part here with the stormy seas. Again, you only need a tiny little bit. It's only a little piece. So we're using Gold Digger. Love Gold Digger. Gold Digger has the most amazing, you only need the tiniest little bit. I took too much. I'm going to use the Gold Digger over around some of these parts where I put the daisy. Now, I wanted this sort of rusty colour in here. And again, what I used was that little brush. I think it was that little one. What did I do with it? Yes, this little fan brush. Got a tiny bit of that rust. It's actually rusty nail, I think, rusty nail on it. Take most of it off so you can see there's hardly anything on there, see? So put a little bit on, take most of it off. And I'm just going to dot that. So a little bit of caviar. Where are we? I've got my camera, I've got this. The last thing I did was I used a little bit of the gold shimmer. So this is the gold shimmer glaze. And I went in around all these bits around here. And I did the glaze also on the leaves, but I used the pearlescent. So here's your pearlescent glaze. I shook these up before. You'd always make sure you stir them or shake them up. I did it just before, so I'm not going to do it again. So on the leaves, so that leaf that I did just before. So here is one. This is the one we just did. Doesn't have the glaze on it. And this is the one that does have the glaze on it. This one doesn't. But you can, like I said, you can use these on all your wood you bend. You can use them on your carved furniture. Do the same sort of thing. Just use different layers. They can be similar colors and just build them up. Even by using like 3 different sort of yellows there, you still got some extra definition. So it doesn't always have to be a wax that you're using to highlight things. You can actually use all your paints, just the paints themselves, and to get pretty much the same sort of effects. So have fun with some of your appliques and your carvings, and I will see you guys back here. See you then. Have a great week.